And streaming. Oh, well.
Oh.
Well, there we go. Good morning,
Surprise.
Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 144.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Thursday, April 12th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
Even though we've been hitting this 10 like it's nobody's business lately.
Yeah. Right on time.
Right on time.
Oh, yeah.
For the free Bitcoin winner yesterday, who won?
All right, so for our free Bitcoin winner, Crypto Knight, thanks for your comment on our question about which countries do you think should join the 22 countries in the blockchain, the Euro Blockchain Summit. We talked about that conglomerate they're forming, and he actually put the Republic of Cyprus. He was talking about how they're supposedly getting together to help, manage cryptocurrency when in reality, they're really trying to block the blockchain, so to say. So thanks for that comment, and sent that free Bitcoin to you.
Thank you, and thank you again for all those comments, people. We always look out, make sure they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure this chat box. All right, there we go.
Make sure it's not
chat
bots
box.
from Roger Bear.
There we go. Right, them chat bots. Milton, what's going on? Torrance J playlist. What's up? What's up? I think we actually beat all of you in here today. What's going on, people?
Yeah, we first now.
I thought something was wrong with the chat. I'm like, hold on. We usually get about 10, 15 people in here by now. All right, here we go. Yeah, you guys we beat you all day. That little Bitcoin pump got us excited. That's what's going on. Everybody trying to look at the trade and stuff. Well, Torrance J, since you mentioned it, let's jump right into it. The price jumped yesterday. Tell me more. What happened? What happened with the price of Bitcoin? Everybody's going crazy. It's looking good. What's up with it?
Well, after a lot of sideways, we did see a small breakout, which just so happened to be the biggest 1 hour candle in Bitcoin history.
What? Breaking records.
It was one of those pumps that it was one of those times in trading where I personally stayed out the market. A lot of people stayed out the market because there was no real direction, and like we've seen before, when a lot of money pumps to the market, it's usually to the upside, and it was a $1.6 billion candle in 1 hour. So $1 billion moved in basically an hour, pushing the price, liquidated a lot of shorts. Also, a lot of people woke up to a lot of green in their portfolio that they haven't seen in a few days. So this is kind of following the trajectory I thought, where we would see a nice, pretty sizable pump, nothing too crazy, right before the final sell-off before tax season is over. So, the lead up to that is basically making sense. And, it was something good to wake up to. But long term, it'll just be a blip on the chart.
I was going to say, is there any specific reason why that happened? Right, exactly. Blockchain, Shuja, was it Soros or was it the Rothschilds? Exactly.
Outside of Soros using it as a test net.
Soros or Rothschild. Which one was like, you know what? We'll throw a couple billion into it, throw $1 billion into it. We'll do that real quick.
Well, I think actually, if they did do it, it is more manipulation, because if Soros is putting big money into it, it's usually a big short, so it won't. In my opinion, if they're entering the market, it won't be to a lot of growth, or there's a good amount of growth over the next couple of days, and it's a boom. There's a short type situation. So that's historically what I'm thinking, but who knows? Nothing really set. The price movements don't really have one factor to it usually, but there has been a lot of people trying to jump into the market.
It's that time. It's
warming
warming
shorts.
up.
There were shorts.
It'll be a hot summer.
Shorts were at an all-time high.
It was Axe Capital. Shout out to Ramo.
Yeah, that is one thing to look out for when you're trading too. If shorts are long, last time longs hit an all-time high, we dumped about $1,000. This time shorts hit an all-time high, and we rose over $1,000. So that's usually just fuel for market makers to push through. And if you caught that wave, congrats to you.
There we go. Want to give a shout out to everybody really quick. Milto, Torrance J playlist, Crypto Knight, Fed, the Realtor. I like that. Ramo, of course, Crypto Q, of course, in the house. Blockchain, Shuja, Paris, Coke. Who was the Game My Peep? Game My Peep say he's on the conference, or he or she is on the conference call, so they can't fully pay attention, but they still here. That's what I'm talking about. Dedication. Dry dessert. Said 5 minutes ago, a new upside started. Gia. There we go. Everybody
on Facebook. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining.
Respect.
As
Kevin,
always.
what's up, man?
And Angela Love before we get back to the show. All right, what's going on? All right, top news. Top news. Would you believe who's back in the news for doing something criminal? Boom! JP Morgan Chase sued for charging crypto buyers with surprise fees.
Oh, word.
I mean, I don't even think this is, we really don't want to cover this. It's not a story to even cover, but again, this is something we said what will happen. They would try to drive you away from Bitcoin, which they did. They dropped the price. Then they come back offering Bitcoin so you can buy it through them or buy all your crypto needs through them, which, in fact, they're probably going to keep your private keys and not actually give you the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then, surprise, surprise, they give you additional fees. If that isn't JP Morgan Chase, like, I don't know what it is.
JP
Like,
Morgan.
why are you still using central banks?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, they keep showing you who they are and they're laughing at you while they do it.
Right.
People are
They got
still
the man Monopoly, man. I love it.
Yeah,
Look at them.
I mean, the suit itself is kind of petty because the fees they charge, but it is more principle that they just use cash advance fees when they felt like it, didn't notify anybody, which is technically illegal, but I'm sure they'll weasel their way out of it.
Of course.
It was a technical difficulty. It was this.
It was an algorithm.
Pay them off. This will go away.
So just for the podcast, folks who can't see the article, JP Morgan Chase, and I can't believe I'm even about to say this, but it does say leading global financial services provider as of now, and one of the largest banking institutions in the U.S. was sued for charging undeclared fees to customers who use their credit cards to purchase cryptocurrency, treating the purchases as cash advantages, Reuters reported August 11.
Word.
Wow. Of course, those sky-high interest rates on the cash advances are astronomical. Another reason why in Texas they were giving all those, what were they trying to ban and indict all the different scams, even though there were scams, you know, USI Tech, Big Connect. They're doing it because they have their own little cash advance thing running down there. But again, I mean, this is Bradley Tucker, the plaintiff, claims the bank charged him $143.30 in fees and $20.61 in interest charges for cryptocurrency transactions he made in January and February. Again, people, that's a small scale. You know, you look at, you know, a couple $100 worth of crypto, but imagine if somebody tried to do $1 million in it. So,
or if 1 million people tried to do it.
Exactly.
If they didn't catch this, who knows how long they would get away with it? Because people think that they don't stop doing illegal stuff. They just find a different way until they get caught.
Listen, they gangsters. This is like who they are, people.
Yeah.
Look, JP Morgan case should be banned. Yep, there's a couple more people in the commenters section are saying the same thing. Again, people, this is what we're trying to get away from. It's the Ned Flanders and the Diddly Do Rights over there that just cannot help let go of these legacy systems, even though they are corrupt and they are criminals. I mean, how many times do they need to get fined? How many times do we need to bail these people out? Yeah. How many times do they need to break the law? To show you two things. One, that our government is only about the money. So it really don't care what you do. It's about the money. And then two, like, they are the bad guys. Like, stop banking, stop doing services with them. But of course that won't happen. I can see it now in another 5 or 10 years. Like I said, they'll have that commercial where JP Morgan Chase is the original Satoshi that created Bitcoin, and you'll all be buying it from them at $100,000 a coin. So I can see that happening now.
Yeah, man, they worse. Yeah, this is
like, how is this even allowed to happen?
Yeah, stay over there and yeah, get the rest of the Ned Flanders, but leave crypto alone.
Of course, all the regulators and stuff, they don't look at stuff like this. They only look at all these made-up FUD articles they put out, but real criminal acts they don't take a peek at. But hey, whatever. That's the game. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even mad anymore. Again,
JP Morgan,
from a business standpoint, hey, you know, this is a gangster though. No, this is a gangster. Not these are scoundrels. You know, they can damage more people with a click of a button and their policies than than some little kid on the corner doing whatever they do. But that's what we're up against, people. So shout out JP Morgan for still doing what you've always done. Can't be mad at that. They showed you, hey, they are who we thought they were. Yeah, exactly. You know. Better news. The Winklevoss brothers just won a crypto patent. A company owned by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, the founders of Gemini Exchange, have been granted a patent for a system that seeks to improve the security of digital transactions. All right, this is about to get real technical. Bitcoin's A, tell us what's going on with the Winklevoss twins.
All right, well, without going super deep, the USPTO, the patent office, actually got filing from their company from 3 different inventors of this patent who want to have secure transactions through cloud computing. This patent kind of shows where they're headed or what they're thinking about doing, and with cloud computing, if this patent goes through and they're actually able to keep it with the other 5 that they already have, then it can kind of show a roadmap where their business is headed. If they're thinking about having an exchange, which it says there, an exchange operated through cloud computing with secure transactions, that can kind of show you where they're headed, because right now, I don't know if there's too many people who trust cloud computing with secure transactions of cryptocurrency. But if there's a secure way to do it and they can prove it, this patent could be the big one for them that could take them to that $1 trillion market.
And you know it's going to get tested.
They already have an exchange.
You know it's going to get tested. People are about to try to hack that thing from every direction. So like you said, if they can prove it works and it holds up, that would be huge.
Yeah, and they already have, like I said, 5 patents and getting more. And we've seen how many banks have, 20, 30 patents already pending or already, have gone through. So obviously they're making business models around this technology. We don't really agree with it, so to say, because it's kind of like, all right, how can you patent open source technology? But
I'm patenting aspects. All this air is mine over here.
They take aspects of it and can figure out a way, get their lawyers on it to figure out a way that they can finagle some money out of it with a patent. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. So that's what we've seen here.
I was gonna say, a good point or a good thing, I guess. That they're doing is at least trying to build that adoption to different mechanisms and ways to use the technology. Yeah. But I want to point something out we've been saying since definitely 2016. We said it live on the show many times before. And I mean, hey, let's just throw it out there. We said the Winklevoss twins the next 5 or 10 years will be wealthier than Mark Zuckerberg. Right now, look at where Facebook's going and look at where they're going. You know what I mean? We have called that out so many times. I mean, you're seeing it right now. Facebook is going downhill. The Winklevoss twins are coming back.
People don't forget.
People don't forget. I can't wait till they get him in the room by themselves.
Like I said, I still don't even know how he was able to create Facebook. After he stole the first idea, he should have been out of there back in the Harvard days.
They're not about that life.
Yeah, they should have DDT'd him off the top.
Somebody said a great comment. I can't find it though. We'll get back to it. But yeah, very interesting. Speaking of what's going on in New York, because of course the Winklevoss twins and Gemini Exchange are in New York, and they're abiding by that bit license there. A New York regulator had the gumption, had the gall to come out and say that the bit license regulation boosted business. That, for one, is actually false. That is not true. It did not boost business in the crypto community, at least. I don't know what, maybe they're saying, oh, we were talking about the Apple business. Yeah, we just said, we didn't tell you which business, we just said business.
Business, yeah, just business.
But the New York State Department of Financial Services, another long letter or whatever, is taking steps to defend its much contested track record as an early regulator of crypto. Why would you need to defend it? If it actually worked and was actually good, it would be nothing to defend. People would agree with it. It would be a widespread method of regulating, but nobody else did it because it was terrible, and you all pushed out a lot of business.
It crippled a lot of business.
Right. Yeah. So this long letter agency, the NYDFS Superintendent Maria Bulu, discussed the agency's efforts to police. Exactly, the efforts to police. Why would you try to police something you don't understand? But whatever. And they did this, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Was it 2014 they did it? So about 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while.
Oh, my goodness. Discuss the agency efforts to police the cryptocurrency space, touting the state's technology-specific licensing regime, the BIT license, as an example of how her agency has contributed to the maturation of the industry. Here's a problem, first of all.
Maturation.
Maria, not only are you telling a blatant lie, but this is what I really don't like about some of the government work and stuff. How she said her agency. It's not your agency. It's the American people's agency in which you're in. Right now, you're holding the helm of that. You're leading the direction. But it's not your agency.
You work for us.
You work for us. So let's get that right.
And we don't want you to do this.
And we don't want you to do this, right?
You're just doing it. And then you tout it as a statistic of showing
a false statistic.
Your way to police the cryptocurrency space, and we're like, we don't want it. Like,
right.
We don't want you to do this. So.
She's quoted as saying, the regulatory structure that we created for virtual currency has helped our licensed companies attract greater interest from customers, investors, and potential financial service partners seeking to pursue further innovation while protecting market integrity by stringent standards applicable to all law-abiding business enterprises. Again, this is all false. After this came out in 2014, people were exiting right out of New York City. It was unfair. Let's go ahead and give you a quick, brief history. The guy who decided to come up with this was another government worker who literally 1 year later after making the BIT license, he left to start his own consulting company on how to get a BIT license. Yeah. It was corruption at the highest level again.
Create the rules and then pay and charge people to learn how to stay within those rules.
Right. And the reason why they can get away with that is because it's in New York. It's Wall Street. The same way they unfairly tried Ross Ulbricht and a couple of other people in the crypto space. They didn't try
Charlie Shrimp. That's how Charlie Shrimp got caught.
They didn't try them in the states they were supposed to be trying. They tried them in New York City, where Wall Street owns everything, including some of the law, legal proceedings, judges, courts, prosecutors. And then they gave people like Ross double life. They gave some of these other people 10 years for things that made no sense. And that's because it's happening in Wall Street's backyard.
Yeah.
So for her to come out and really tout that, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Again,
we don't need the bit. You know, traders in New York got wrecked off of that bit license when it first came out. It was basically just like, well, we're dead in the water. You can't buy it, and if your state showed New York,
right?
I mean, you could get around with a VPN, of course.
These are the real thugs.
But still, it's
these
some people
are the real thugs.
Wasn't that tech savvy, didn't know, got them. So
yeah, there we go, Ramo. Yeah, Torrance J Playlist called them thugs. Fed the realtor said he monopolized the market. Yep, the videos on Netflix. I think it's banking. Was it banking on Bitcoin?
Yeah,
yeah. So it's ridiculous, people. But again, this is what we're up against. Literally, I mean, if you can really picture this, they created a bit license about 3 or 4 years ago, right? Literally last year in December is when a small portion of the mainstream just found out about Bitcoin and crypto. It was reflected in the price. So they made...
And in Google search.
Right, and in Google search. So they made a license, again, that pushed the small people out. Because if you had the money, i.e. Gemini twins, which is why they had the main exchange there, because they were already multimillionaires and went to Harvard, come from blue blood family. Yeah, for the little guy, if you didn't already have money, it squoze you out of business. Right now, the only thing that can make her statement a little bit possibly true is the fact that now big banks are jumping on board, and of course they're working with Gemini. So with just those two facts or stats, she can say, well, big banks are working with Gemini, the bit license works. Yeah, because you have two people who are already rich who was able to obtain this license, and then other rich people with big banks saying we'll do business with only these other two rich people. Come on.
Well, if that was their goal, then I guess they did achieve it. But
that is true.
Yeah, y'all trash.
I'm just saying, can somebody order a heart attack? With all of that, with all this terrible Wall Street stuff going on, Nasdaq will delist former beverage company Loan Blockchain Corp. All right, we talked about Loan Blockchain Corp.
Yeah.
How they put that in their name.
It has nothing to do with blockchain.
It wasn't fair, but really, Nasdaq, that's what we're doing now. We're just going, we don't like the way they made a lot of money. We're going to delist them.
Get them. Hey, you made too much money. Get them out of here.
What is it? What's the Brave browser and Kim.com? Don't they got some?
Kim.com.
Hey, you can go in there, man. You don't need
K.M coming soon. Yeah.
Right. So what's going on with Loan Blockchain Corp?
Well, we discussed Loan Blockchain Corp, which is a company that had nothing to do with blockchain. They made drinks, and they definitely took advantage of the blockchain name, put it in their name. Their shares increased a lot overnight. They just rode the wave like everybody else.
Because who would buy that after it was an iced tea company that changed the blockchain?
Changed the blockchain.
Yeah, you deserve to go ahead and take some. Hey, go ahead and get some of their money. They want to play that game. Yeah. Take some of that money.
Nasdaq basically said, that was manipulation of the market, and now they're delisting them because of what we discussed before. So we've seen other companies do it. They throw blockchain in their name, or they throw blockchain in their end-of-year report, or end-of-quarter report, or just anywhere in their blog somewhere, and then all of a sudden investors get excited, and we've seen upwards of 1,000% gains in a few days in the stock market. So Nasdaq definitely had to reel that in, or it would probably become pretty common where every company would just start throwing blockchain in there, just to get that quick pump or quick short in as well, because once that pump happens, you
could dump on all. It was a money play. If they were paying the right people, it wouldn't be a problem. This says when it first happened, the rebranding from Long Island Iced Tea to Loan Blockchain Corp, its stock price jumped 500%. Of course, in the traditional market, that is absurd. I mean, the crypto market, that's great too, but it's still, it's been seen many times. But in the traditional market, that is literally absurd for NASDAQ. So to me, that means they didn't pay off the right people. And I'll tell you why. In January, it says U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission SEC Chairman Jay Clayton remarked on the phenomenon of companies simply adding the word blockchain to their name to capitalize on the perceived promise of doing so. Now, it's funny how they're going to delist them and go after them when right now every other company just about on the NASDAQ, including all of these big banks, might not be changing their name to blockchain, but they all have said we're introducing blockchain technology. Come on. They've all said that, and all the stocks been rising after they said that. So again, it is an instance of you're not in this circle, you're not with the good old boys. Hey,
first one through the door gets shot. Shouldn't have been so innovative. Now get out of here.
You know what? And people, we say all this. We don't say it with any ill will. We're just reporting on this because we're in the circle. We know people, so we're good. So I'm not even mad how they do business, but hey, it's up to you.
Honestly,
change it.
Man, if they put Long Island iced tea,
come on, it was Long Island iced tea, and they switched to blockchain.
That is, exactly. I would say that would be a technological tour de force if they could somehow put Long Island iced teas on a blockchain, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
for somebody to invest in that after that switch, unless they were like a swing trader or something, was like, oh, I know this is going to bounce. I'm going to go long, make this money. But if you're just the normal Joe Blow who's like, oh, they're not going to do long on IC more, we're going to do blockchain. I'm going to go invest. Like,
dang.
Look, you about to learn this hard lesson the hard way.
Yep. Better take them profits and run, buddy.
Right. Oh my goodness. World's second largest crypto exchange, OKex, moves to blockchain island of Malta. There we go. Hey, Malta Bay. This is about to be the spot.
I'm looking up tickets.
Right. Malta, which has recently passed regulatory legislation concerning blockchain cryptocurrencies and ICOs, in a bid to become a crypto-friendly blockchain island, is welcoming major exchange OKex to the country, according to a press release today. Of course, Binance, the world's largest exchange by trade volume, also reported at the end of March they were planning on opening an office in Malta as well after receiving a warning from Japanese regulators. Very interesting point to make. If the bit license was so great, why didn't everybody move to New York? Because they were not wasting no time to move to Malta.
Yeah,
I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, they run into Malta.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the New York bit license was so great, but no one came. Everybody left.
Yeah.
But the Malta one has people coming in.
That's good legislation. When whole companies, whole exchanges are leaving.
Exchanges came over? Come on.
Going to Malta, bro. I'm pretty sure they all had golf and brunch, and they were like, yeah, so what do you think about Malta? I was like, oh, yeah, we're going. Like, I'll see you later. Because most of, like we said, everything, these big companies, they copy each other. From regulators to exchanges to CEOs. Whenever something works and they see that it works, they always copy each other. And then, as we see here, Binance goes, OKex goes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one. This time
like you said, 2 or 3. Yeah, next week. You give it next week. I wouldn't be surprised.
This time next week, I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's get a U.S. one over there. OKex CEO Chris Lee stated, "We look forward to working with the Malta government as it is forward-thinking and shares many of our same values. The most important of which are protection of traders." There we go. Protection of traders. I had to say it twice. And the general public, compliance with AML and KYC standards, and recognition of the innovation and importance of continued development in the blockchain ecosystem.
Yep. But I will say, countries like that, they have that written, but they have a different way of doing it. Anti-money laundering and know your customer. Because theirs would be like, oh yeah, they can only take out 100,000 at a time. Like,
right.
All right, cool. That's like, right. That's the law, brother.
Hey, here's know your customer right there. Exactly.
Yeah, lots of forex brokers on Malta. Yep. Malta's looking, and see, they'll be rewarded for this because, like we keep saying, if you have a country that needs business or wants business, become blockchain or Bitcoin friendly, and all you will have to do is basically put the word out. People will come there, they'll move there, they'll move their business there. The legislators will have it easy because you can still operate within that framework, and nothing will happen to your economy. It'll just get better. Right. So this is looking like an example.
I can already tell you what's going to happen next from the U.S. point of view. Yeah. You're not allowed to use Malta exchanges.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know what I mean? That's the U.S., China, South Korea, all them. It's going to be against the law to use exchanges located in Malta. Like that is how they're going to play. And the Ned Flanders and Diddley gang are going to be like, well, you know, they said we couldn't use the exchanges there because of money laundering or something. Like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Eat your cornflakes.
Yeah, I was saying, exactly.
Eat your cornflakes, stay healthy.
Exactly.
China blockchain conference shut down by police. Organizers claim no legal issues. All right, what's going on in China right now?
All right, well, there's nothing illegal going on at this event. What happened was there was reported that an ICO was going to come to that event, and it supposedly scammed a bunch of people out of money. So if they would have showed up, a lot of people they complained. They complained to
y'all gonna come
to the police, and they were like, yeah, this event, this ICO might show up, and they took a lot of money, and they said they did it for security reasons because. And I can imagine this. If you were ICO,
let them come. I want them to come.
Exactly. Let them come.
Let's get some action in the crypto community.
Yeah, exactly. If you're an ICO that stole a bunch of people's money and you have the gall to show up at a conference and show your face in public, you probably getting jumped. That probably would have been an amazing video or an amazing gift.
They're gonna take all your crypto kitties out of your phone.
Yeah, somebody gonna jump, slap you off the stage.
Right. Yeah, fool.
It's gonna be a scene. But yeah, that's probably why they shut this down. It had nothing to do with the conference. The conference itself was fine. It was a formal event. But
that's a bold move.
That would be funny.
That is a bold move.
They were just rumored, but yeah, they probably were on like early flyer, and then somebody recognized, hey, this is the company that something happened.
Isn't that the one who got?
Took them off, and then people were mixed up and probably called the police from there. But yeah, self-policing at its finest.
That is self-policing.
I can tell you right now, the ICO people who scam and get out quick, for one, they better take their money and go, because if they're trying to re-enter the market at this period, people's eyes are too open. And at these conferences, like I said, you got a lot of real people showing up in the Bitcoin space now. It's not a bunch of nerds in T-shirts typing. I can tell you that right now. So when you see somebody get stomped out like the Source Awards at one of these conferences for ICO,
oh my goodness! But
you
for
say,
that is
China,
fair. For that is
China, they on top of it.
Yeah. All right, so we see China not playing. We know South Korea not playing. All right, who next? Malta not playing. Mm-hmm. Who next up? Who else about that life in here?
Hey, let's have a conference in Detroit.
That is like the statement of the day right there. Oh, yeah. That would be funny.
Let's see these ICOs. Let's see USI Tech show up.
USI Tech show up indeed.
See BitConnect show up.
Oh man! Last but not least, it ended on a goodwill story. New York Townhouse now on sale for $45 million in cryptocurrency. I love it. Even though with that bit license, you're probably gonna pay half of that in taxes, but. A 6-story, oh my God, they got townhouses. A 6-story townhouse on New York's Upper East Side is listed for sale for either almost $30 million in fiat or $45 million in cryptocurrency. Oh, they got that backwards. The Wall Street Journal reports today, or yesterday, April 11th. Wow, that's pretty good.
6 stories?
That's what I said. 6 stories. I don't even know if I want. I know they got elevators.
Who lives
still,
in that? Sean Kemp and all his kids?
Too funny. Blockchain seed and angel investor Claudio Gazzoni de Zenet has said that he will accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Ripple. Oh, let's give him some Ripple, people. Oh, let's go ahead and drop the bag on him for the property, noting the reason for the higher price in crypto, $45 million versus $30 million, is due to the crypto market's volatility. I'm not trying to hear that, buddy. I'm a true believer in these networks, but it's very volatile. It could be down 60% in 2 weeks, or it could be up. But I get where you're coming from, Claudio. It would be funny if somebody did give him
up in 2 months.
Yeah. It could be. It would be funny if people did give him $45 million in Ripple, and Ripple realized that big transaction was made, and then they just released another 100 million coins, and it went back down.
Super tank,
like they could actually do. Just in case you don't know about Ripple.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, pretty good. You know, he's a hedge fund guy. Looks like, you know, New York, a lot of money, all that good stuff. That's pretty funny. They said he was fined $8,000 for listing rooms online as rental units. I mean, it's 6 floors. Why not?
Yeah, I was about to say 6 floors. Right. Yeah, that's a hotel.
But it's pretty good news. I mean, I doubt this actually goes through because nobody's going to give him $45 million in crypto versus $30 million cash just because he thinks it could go down in 2 weeks, or as Bitcoins, they said, up a lot in 2 months. But, you know, just for the news of it is noble, ideal, and of course, it allows people to see that you can still use crypto to actually purchase homes, just in case you didn't know.
Hey, real estate market is popping right now. I mean, every market is right now. And like we've been saying for a long time, once these payments are made through Lightning, it's about to be game time. So, yeah, good to see for the market. The more people accept it, the more people think it's valid. So, from a psychological standpoint, good to see.
I'm trying to, like, how are you going to accept Ripple and not accept Doge? Yeah. What? I got some Bitbeam. I got 45 mil Bitbeam. You want it, son?
You know how much red coin I got?
Right. Can't get rid of it. Yeah. All right. For the free Bitcoin day, what are we doing?
All right. For the free Bitcoin, going along with let's just pick on Ripple for now.
Oh man.
Santander, Ripple powered payment network. Tell us, what do you think about their payment network that just joined the day? It wasn't in